Story 1. I've been teaching art at the middle school for about 4 years now. After spending a decade doing freelance illustration work that barely paid the bills, I decided to get my teaching certification. The stability was nice, and I genuinely loved helping kids discover their creativity. Most of them came in thinking they couldn't draw, and by the end of the semester, they'd surprise themselves. It's rewarding work, even if the pay is terrible and I have to buy most of my own supplies. My classroom is my sanctuary: paint-splattered tables, student artwork covering every wall, the smell of tempera paint and possibility. We've been doing a unit on color theory and landscape painting. Nothing controversial, just teaching the kids about warm and cool colors, how to mix shades, basic composition. For their final project, they had to paint a landscape using what they'd learned. Any landscape they wanted. Mountains, beaches, forests, whatever inspired them. Most kids painted pretty standard stuff. Blue skies, green trees, brown mountains. But this one kid, 8th grader named Marcus, decided to paint a sunset. And not just any sunset, a really dramatic one with deep reds, oranges, and purples. The kind of sunset that actually happens in nature, but looks almost unreal. It was honestly one of the better pieces in the class. The kid had talent. I hung all the finished projects on the wall for our quarterly art show, where parents could come see what their kids had been working on. It was a Tuesday evening, casual event with cookies and punch. Parents wandering around, kids pointing out their work, everyone being supportive. Until she arrived. I noticed her immediately because she stopped dead in front of Marcus's painting and just stared at it. Her face was doing something weird, like she was trying to solve a puzzle that personally offended her. Marcus was standing right there with his dad, looking proud. She turned to me with this expression of absolute horror. Excuse me, are you the teacher? Me, yes, I'm the art teacher. Welcome. Are you Marcus's mom? I need to speak with you, privately, now. Her volume made several other parents turn and look. Marcus's dad looked confused. Me, is something wrong? Is something? Yes. Something is very wrong. Why is my son's painting entirely red? I looked at the sunset painting, which was red, orange, and purple. Me, it's a sunset. He used warm colors like we discussed in class. The color choices are actually quite sophisticated for his age. It's communist propaganda. The room went quiet. Someone's cookie fell on the floor. Me, I'm sorry, what? This painting. It's red. Aggressively red. You've been teaching my son communist ideology. Marcus, Mom, what are you talking about? It's a sunset. Don't interrupt, adult. Marcus, I need to understand why this teacher has been filling your head with Marxist ideas through color choices. Me, ma'am, I can assure you we've been studying color theory. Red is a warm color. Sunsets often appear red because of how light scatters through the atmosphere. It's science, not politics. Red is the color of communism. My son would never choose to paint something entirely red unless he was being influenced. Marcus's dad, honey, it's just a painting of a sunset. Stay out of this, David. You don't see what's happening here. This is indoctrination. Marcus, Mom, you're embarrassing me. I'm protecting you. Don't you understand? First it's red paintings. Next thing you know you're reading Marx and wearing Che Guevara shirts. Me, ma'am, I teach art. We painted landscapes. Marcus chose to paint a sunset, which are commonly red and orange. There's no political agenda here. Then why didn't he paint a blue sky? Why didn't he paint a nice, normal, American blue sky? Marcus, because sunsets aren't blue. It's literally the sun. Several parents were definitely recording now. I could see phones out, pointed in our direction. You've been brainwashed. This teacher has been brainwashed. I'm reporting this to the principal. I'm reporting this to the school board. This is unacceptable. My principal, who'd been standing near the refreshment table, walked over. Principal, is there a problem? Yes. This teacher has been teaching communist ideology through art class. Principal, through art class. Her, look at this painting. It's entirely red. She's clearly pushing an agenda on impressionable children. The principal looked at the sunset painting, then at me, then back at her. Principal, that's a sunset. Her, it's communist propaganda disguised as a sunset. Marcus, oh my God, Mom, please stop. Principal, ma'am, we teach color theory in art class. Red is a primary color. It appears in nature. Sunsets are frequently red. There's no political indoctrination happening here. Her, I want my son transferred out of this class immediately. Principal, that's your choice. But I can tell you that our art curriculum is approved by the school board and has been for years. There's nothing inappropriate about painting a sunset. Her, nothing inappropriate? Nothing inappropriate? She's turning children into communists and you're defending her. Marcus, Mom, it's literally just the sun. The actual sun in the sky. When it sets, it looks red. Have you never seen a sunset? The room was dead silent, except for the hum of the fluorescent lights. Every parent was watching. Multiple phones were definitely recording. Her, don't you take that tone with me, young man. Marcus, I'm not taking a tone. I'm trying to explain basic nature to you. Sunsets are red. It's not political. It's photons scattering through atmospheric particles. Someone in the back started clapping. Then someone else joined in. Within seconds, half the room was applauding Marcus, while his mother's face turned approximately the same shade as his sunset painting. Her, you're all crazy. This whole school is crazy. David, we're leaving. Marcus's dad, actually, I'm pretty proud of his painting. I think we should stay. Her, David. Marcus's dad, it's a good painting. Look at the technique. The kid's got talent. She looked around one more time, realized no one was on her side, grabbed her purse, and stormed out. Marcus looked mortified. Marcus, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's wrong with her. Me, it's not your fault. Your painting is excellent, truly. Principal, Marcus, your work is fantastic. Don't let this discourage you from creating art. After she left, the art show continued. People kept coming up to look at Marcus's sunset painting, now famous for causing a scene. His dad took about 50 photos of it. Marcus seemed to recover from the embarrassment, especially when other parents kept telling him how good it was. The next day, I came to school to find the video everywhere. Someone had posted it online with the caption, "Karen accuses art teacher of communist indoctrination because kid painted red sunset." It had millions of views. The comments were brutal but also hilarious. Ma'am, the sun is communist now. Breaking, local woman discovers sunsets exist. Kids' comeback about photons is chef's kiss. That dad's "I'm pretty proud of his painting" was the perfect response. Marcus became a minor celebrity at school. Kids started painting deliberately red things and joking about their communist artwork. Someone painted a tomato and labeled it Marxist vegetable. The drama teacher painted a red barn and called it agricultural revolution. The mom tried to complain to the superintendent, who apparently laughed and told her to take an astronomy class. She eventually transferred Marcus to another school, which everyone agreed was probably for the best. I still have a photo of that sunset painting. It hangs in my classroom as a reminder that sometimes the most innocent things become the most absurd battles, and that a kid's simple explanation, "It's literally the sun," can be the perfect response to manufactured outrage. Marcus's dad sent me a thank you card at the end of the year, along with a donation to buy art supplies. Inside he wrote, "Thanks for teaching my son to defend his art and his reality. P.S. We watch sunsets together now. They're still red." Best thank you card I ever got. Story 2. I've been working at Sweet Dreams Bakery for about 3 years now. It's a small family-owned shop in a nice neighborhood, the kind of place that does wedding cakes and custom orders alongside the daily pastries and cookies. I started here part-time during my gap year after high school, And I ended up staying because the owners are wonderful people and the work environment is genuinely pleasant. Plus, I've learned a lot about baking and customer service. The bakery is owned by an older couple who've been running it for 20 years. They taught me everything from how to properly frost a cake to how to handle difficult customers with grace. Most of our customers are regulars who come in for their morning coffee and a croissant, or parents ordering birthday cakes for their kids. It's usually a calm, happy place that smells like vanilla and fresh bread. We keep our display case stocked with fresh pastries every day: cupcakes, cookies, brownies, fruit tarts, and various breads. Everything is made fresh that morning in the kitchen behind the counter. We have clear sneeze guards over all the displays, and customers are supposed to tell us what they want so we can box it up for them. We don't let people handle the pastries themselves for obvious hygiene reasons. Last Saturday was busier than usual. We had 3 custom cake orders to finish and a steady stream of customers all morning. I was working the front counter with my coworker while the owners were in the back handling the cake decorating. Around 11 in the morning, a woman I'd never seen before came into the shop. She walked straight to the cupcake display and stood there staring at them for a long time. We had about 2 dozen cupcakes out in various flavors: chocolate, vanilla, red velvet, lemon, and some specialty ones with elaborate frosting designs. I walked over to help her. "Me, good morning. Can I help you with something?" "Karen, I'm looking for cupcakes for my book club this afternoon, but I need to make sure they're fresh." "Me, everything here was made fresh this morning. What flavors are you interested in?" "Karen, how do I know they're actually fresh? They could have been sitting here for hours." "Me, I put these out myself about 2 hours ago. They're definitely fresh. Would you like to order a dozen?" "Karen, I need to test them first." Before I could respond, she reached over the sneeze guard, picked up a chocolate cupcake, and licked the frosting off the top. I stood there in complete shock. My brain couldn't process what I just witnessed. "Me, ma'am, you can't do that." "Karen, how else am I supposed to know if they're fresh?" She put the licked cupcake back on the tray and reached for a vanilla one. "Me, stop. You need to stop touching the cupcakes." "Karen, I'm testing for freshness. This is basic food safety." She licked the frosting off the vanilla cupcake and put it back. Then she grabbed a red velvet one. "Me, ma'am, you need to stop right now. You're contaminating the food." My coworker had noticed the commotion and came over. The woman now had licked 3 cupcakes and was reaching for a 4th. "Coworker, what's going on?" "Me, she's licking the cupcakes." "Karen, I'm a paying customer. I have the right to ensure product quality before purchase." "Coworker, that's not how this works. You're ruining the cupcakes." Karen grabbed a lemon cupcake and licked it before we could stop her. The owner came out from the back, alerted by the raised voices. She took one look at the situation, and her expression went from confused to furious in about 2 seconds. "Owner, what are you doing to my cupcakes?" "Karen, I'm testing them for freshness. Several of them are clearly stale. You should be thanking me for quality control." "Owner, you licked them. You can't put them back after licking them." "Karen, well, I'm not buying stale cupcakes. These 4 are definitely not fresh." She pointed to the 4 cupcakes she'd licked, now sitting on the tray with the frosting partially gone and visible saliva on them. "Owner, you're buying all of them. Every single cupcake you touched." "Karen, I'm not paying for stale products." "Owner, they weren't stale until you contaminated them. You've destroyed 4 cupcakes. You're paying for them." "Karen, this is a scam. You're trying to sell me defective merchandise." "Owner, you made them defective by licking them. That's destruction of property." I quickly removed the entire tray of cupcakes from the display. The 4 she'd licked were obvious, but I couldn't sell any of them now since she'd been reaching across the sneeze guard and potentially contaminating the whole tray. "Owner, actually, you're paying for the entire dozen. I can't sell any of these now because you reached over the barrier." "Karen, that's ridiculous. I only licked 4 of them." "Owner, and you touched or breathed on the rest while leaning over the display case." The whole tray is contaminated. 12 cupcakes at $3 each is $36. Karen, I'm not paying that. This is extortion. Owner, then I'm calling the police. Karen, go ahead. They'll side with me. I'm the victim of false advertising here. The owner went to the back office and called the non-emergency police line. She came back out and stood with her arms crossed, blocking the woman from leaving. Karen, you can't keep me here. This is kidnapping. Owner, I'm not keeping you here. You're free to leave after you pay for the cupcakes you destroyed. Karen, I'm not paying for your stale products. We all stood there in this awkward standoff for about 10 minutes. Other customers had come in and were watching the situation with confused expressions. My coworker had to explain to each one that we'd be with them shortly. Finally, 2 police officers arrived. They listened to the owner explain what happened, then looked at the contaminated cupcakes still sitting on the counter. Officer 1, ma'am, did you lick these cupcakes? Karen, I was testing them for freshness. It's my right as a consumer. Officer 2, you can't lick food in a store and put it back. That's tampering. Karen, they're trying to charge me for all 12 when I only tested 4. Officer 1, you contaminated the entire tray. The owner is within her rights to charge you for all of them. Karen, this is police harassment. I want to file a complaint. Officer 2, you can file a complaint at the station. But first, you need to pay for the cupcakes or you'll be charged with theft and food tampering. Karen, I'm not paying. The officers looked at each other, then back at her. Officer 1, then we're going to have to escort you out and cite you for the damages. Karen, you can't do this to me. I have rights. Officer 2, you have the right to pay for what you destroyed, or the right to be cited for it. Your choice. She stood there fuming for a moment, then pulled out her phone. Karen, I'm calling my lawyer. Officer 1, you can call your lawyer from outside. They started walking her toward the door. She was still clutching her phone in one hand, and one of the officers handed her a stack of napkins. Karen, what are these for? Officer 2, you've got frosting on your hands, from the cupcakes you licked. The absurdity of the situation finally seemed to hit her. She was being escorted out of a bakery by 2 police officers while holding napkins because she'd licked cupcakes. Other customers in the shop were either staring or trying not to laugh. As they walked her out, she was yelling about how she'd never shop here again and how we'd regret this. The officers got her information and issued her a citation for the $36 plus damages. They told the owner she could pursue it in small claims court if needed. After they left, the owner just stood there shaking her head. Owner, in 20 years of running this bakery, I have never seen anything like that. Me, should I throw out the whole tray? Owner, yes, all of them. I'm not taking any chances. I disposed of all 12 cupcakes. $36 worth of perfectly good cupcakes ruined because someone thought licking them was an appropriate way to test freshness. The rest of the day, every customer who came and heard the story. Word spread fast in our small neighborhood. By closing time, at least 20 people had come in specifically to hear about the cupcake liquor and to buy pastries in solidarity with the owners. One regular customer bought 24 cupcakes and said she was taking them to her book club to replace whatever cupcakes that woman had been planning to buy. The story made it onto the neighborhood social media page by evening. Someone had been in the shop during the incident and posted about it. The comments were a mix of disbelief and people sharing their own stories of entitled customers. The woman never paid the citation. The owner filed a small claims court case, and according to the latest update, she's supposed to appear in court next month. The owner framed a photo of the contaminated cupcakes and hung it in the back room with a caption that reads, "Test for freshness at your own risk." We also put up a very clear sign on the display case now that reads, "Please do not touch or taste the pastries before purchase. All items are made fresh daily." 3 days after the incident, someone left a 1-star review online claiming we sold stale cupcakes and harassed customers. The owner responded with a professional comment explaining that we don't allow customers to lick our merchandise and that we take food safety very seriously. The review got reported and removed, but not before about 50 people had commented defending the bakery and calling out the reviewer's behavior. I still work at Sweet Dreams Bakery. I still love my job. But now whenever someone stands too long staring at the cupcakes, I get a little nervous and position myself between them and the display case. You can never be too careful. Story 3. I've been working the front desk at this hotel for almost 2 years now. After my mom got sick, I dropped out of my junior year to help with her medical bills and take care of my younger brother. The hotel job has decent benefits, and the overnight shift pays $1 more per hour. So that's where I usually end up. 3 nights a week, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., checking in late arrivals and dealing with whatever chaos the night brings. I've seen it all: drunk wedding parties, cheating spouses getting caught, people trying to sneak in pets, guests who swear their room is haunted. You develop a thick skin pretty fast. It was a slow Wednesday night, around 1 a.m. I was restocking brochures at the front desk when she burst through the doors like she was being chased. Designer luggage, fur coat despite it being 60 degrees outside, and an energy that immediately made me tired. She marched straight to the desk and slapped her hand down on the counter. Her: I need to speak to the manager immediately. Me: I'm the night manager on duty. How can I help you? Her: I have a reservation, but there's been a mistake. A serious mistake. I pulled up our system and found her reservation. Me: I have you booked for a standard queen room for 2 nights, checking in today. Is there a problem with? Her: A standard room? A standard room. Do you have any idea what I've been through today? Me: I'm sorry you've had a difficult day. Unfortunately, that's what your reservation shows. If you'd like to upgrade, I can check availability. Her: I'm not paying for an upgrade. I need a suite. A complimentary suite. Me: Ma'am, we don't typically provide complimentary upgrades unless there's a problem with the original room, or for loyalty program members who... Her: This is a problem. I'm having an emotional emergency. I pause, trying to figure out if this was a medical situation I needed to call someone about. Me: Are you okay? Do you need me to call someone for you? Her: I need you to give me a suite. My horoscope this morning said I would face travel turbulence, and I have. The universe warned me, and you people didn't prepare for it. Me: Your horoscope. Her: Yes, I'm a Libra rising with Scorpio in Venus. Mercury is in retrograde. My astrologer specifically said I would encounter obstacles during travel and would need luxury accommodations to restore my spiritual balance. Me: I see. Unfortunately, horoscope predictions aren't part of our upgrade criteria. If you'd like to pay for a suite upgrade, our junior suites start at an additional $75 per night. Her: I'm not paying. Don't you understand? This is a spiritual emergency. I'm experiencing cosmic distress. A business traveler who'd been getting ice from the machine stopped and stared on his way back to the elevators. Me: Ma'am, I understand you've had a stressful day, but I can't provide a complimentary suite upgrade based on astrological predictions. If there's an actual issue with your reserved room once you see it. Her: The issue is that the universe told me I would need special accommodations. My chakras are completely misaligned from the travel turbulence. Do you know what happens when your root chakra is destabilized? Do you? Me: I'm afraid I don't, but... Her: I could collapse. I could have a spiritual breakdown, right here in your lobby, and it will be your fault for not honoring the cosmic warnings. Me: I'm very sorry you're feeling distressed, but our policy is clear. I can offer you the standard room you booked, or I can show you upgrade options if you'd like to pay the difference. Her: This is discrimination. You're discriminating against me because of my spiritual beliefs. Me: Ma'am, I'm not discriminating. I'm following hotel policy. We treat all guests equally, regardless of their beliefs. Her: Then why won't you give me what I need? The stars don't lie. My astrologer has a 93% accuracy rate. Me. That's still 7% margin for error. The words came out before I could stop them. Her face turned red. Excuse me. Me, I just mean that. Horoscopes are interpretive. Maybe the travel turbulence was just the normal stress of traveling, and the universe wasn't specifically telling you that you'd need a suite. Me. No ma'am, I'm just trying to explain our policies. I want to speak to your manager. The real manager. Me. The general manager won't be in until 9 a.m. I'm happy to leave a note for her to call you, but I can tell you right now that she'll say the same thing. We don't provide complimentary upgrades based on horoscopes. This is an emergency, a spiritual emergency. Me, ma'am, an emergency would be a medical issue, a safety concern, or a problem with your room. Feeling spiritually misaligned, while I'm sure is uncomfortable for you, isn't something that qualifies for our emergency protocols. I cannot believe this. The universe sent me warnings and you're ignoring them. I reached under the desk and pulled out one of the community resource pamphlets we kept for various situations. I found the one I was looking for. Me here. This is a list of local therapists and counseling services, including some that specialize in stress management and holistic wellness. Perhaps speaking with a professional could help you process what you're feeling. I held out the pamphlet. She stared at it like I'd handed her a live snake. Are you? Are you giving me a therapy pamphlet? Me, you said you're experiencing emotional distress. These are resources that might actually help, as opposed to a hotel room upgrade. I don't need therapy, I need a suite. Me, unfortunately, I can't provide that for free. But I can check you into your reserved standard room, or I can cancel your reservation if you'd prefer to find other accommodations. Those are your options. She grabbed the pamphlet and threw it on the floor. I'm posting about this. Everyone will know how this hotel treats people in spiritual crisis. Me, that's certainly your right, ma'am. Would you like to check into your room or cancel your reservation? She stood there fuming for a solid 30 seconds, probably hoping I'd crack. I didn't. I've dealt with people trying to scam free upgrades 100 different ways. The horoscope angle was new, but the manipulation was the same. Fine, give me my standard room, but I'm leaving a horrible review. Me, I understand. Here's your key card. Room 237, elevators are to your right. She snatched the key card and dragged her designer luggage toward the elevators, muttering about Mercury retrograde and cosmic injustice. The business traveler with the ice bucket walked past the desk and gave me a thumbs up. Mercury in retrograde, huh? Me, apparently it's very serious. My horoscope said I'd encounter entertainment tonight. Guess it was right. After she was gone, I picked up the therapy pamphlet from where she'd thrown it and put it back in the holder. My coworker who was doing the overnight housekeeping came to the desk. Coworker, did that lady just try to get a free room because of astrology? Me, yep. Said it was a spiritual emergency. Coworker, did it work? Me, what do you think? Coworker, I think Mercury can be in retrograde all at once, but hotel policy is hotel policy. She did leave a review. 1 star. Front desk clerk mocked my spiritual beliefs and refused to accommodate my cosmic emergency. Very insensitive to people who follow astrology. Room was fine, but energy was all wrong. My manager called me the next day to ask about it. I explained the situation. She laughed so hard she snorted. Manager, so you gave her a therapy pamphlet? Me, I was trying to be helpful. She said she was in distress. Manager, that's actually kind of perfect. Nice work handling it. The review got a lot of attention online, but not the kind she wanted. People started leaving joke reviews. Came during Mercury retrograde, surprisingly did not receive free penthouse. Hotel refuses to honor zodiac-based upgrades. 0 stars for my moon sign. My horoscope said I'd sleep in a bed, and I did. 5 stars for accuracy. The woman never came back. But every time Mercury goes into retrograde now, someone on staff makes a joke about preparing for spiritual emergencies. We even made a fake, astrological emergency protocol sign for the break room. Sometimes the best response to manipulation isn't sympathy. It's a pamphlet and a straight face. Story 4. I'm 17 years old and I work as a delivery driver for QuickBite, one of those food delivery apps. I started doing this about 6 months ago to save money for college. The job is pretty straightforward. I get orders on my phone, pick up food from restaurants, and deliver it to people's homes. I use an electric bike because it's cheaper than driving a car and I can navigate through traffic easier. My parents were hesitant about me doing delivery work at first, but I convinced them it was safe and good money. Most days, it really is fine. I put in my earbuds, follow the GPS, drop off food, and collect tips. I've met some nice people and some weird people, but nothing too crazy, until last Tuesday. I had an order from a Thai restaurant to deliver to a house about 2 miles away. The app said the customer wanted the food left on their front porch. When I pulled into the driveway, I noticed it was a pretty nice neighborhood with big houses and well-maintained lawns. I stopped my e-bike in the driveway, got the food bag from my backpack, and was walking toward the porch when I heard someone yelling. "Karen, hey, what do you think you're doing?" I turned around and saw a woman in her 50s speed walking toward me from across the street. She was wearing yoga pants and a visor, and she looked furious. "Me? I'm delivering food." "Karen, you can't ride that vehicle on the sidewalk. It's illegal." "Me? I'm not on the sidewalk. I'm in this person's driveway." "Karen, I saw you. You rode right up on the sidewalk." "Me? No, I rode up the driveway. To deliver food. To this house." I gestured to the house behind me. The woman stood at the end of the driveway with her hands on her hips. "Karen, bicycles are not allowed on sidewalks. This is a pedestrian zone." "Me again, I'm in a driveway, not on a sidewalk." "Karen, that's still private property. You're trespassing." "Me, the person who lives here ordered food. They want me to deliver it to their porch. That's not trespassing." This felt surreal. I'd been doing deliveries for 6 months and never had anyone confront me about being in a driveway. "Karen, I don't care what they ordered. You're operating a motorized vehicle in a residential area." "Me, it's an electric bike. For deliveries. This is literally my job." "Karen, your job is illegal. I'm calling the police." She pulled out her phone like she was actually going to call. At this point, I figured I should probably record this in case things got weirder. I pulled out my phone and started filming. "Me, go ahead and call them. I'm just trying to deliver food." "Karen, what are you doing? Are you recording me?" "Me, yeah, I'm recording this conversation." "Karen, you can't do that. That's illegal. Delete that right now." "Me, I'm allowed to record in public." "Karen, this isn't public. This is a private neighborhood." "Me, the street is public, and I have the right to record my own interactions." Her face was getting red. She started walking toward me. "Karen, delete that. Delete it right now." "Me, no." "Karen, I'm serious. Delete that video." She was screaming now. Her voice went up about 3 octaves. Some neighbors had come out of their houses to see what the commotion was about. "Karen, you have no right to film me. Delete it. Delete that." "Me, ma'am, I'm just trying to deliver food and leave." "Karen, not until you delete that video." She was now standing directly in front of my bike, blocking me from leaving. The front door of the house opened, and the customer came out looking confused. "Customer, is everything okay out here?" "Me, I have your Thai food." "This woman is blocking me from delivering it." "Customer, why are you blocking my driveway?" "Karen, this boy is illegally operating a motorized vehicle on your property and filming me without consent." "Customer, he's delivering the food I ordered. That's not illegal, and you're standing in my driveway screaming." "Karen, he's on a bicycle, on the sidewalk. That's against neighborhood rules." "Customer, he's in my driveway. I asked him to bring food to my porch. Please leave my property. Karen, I'm protecting this neighborhood. Someone has to enforce the rules. Customer, you don't live on this street. I've never seen you before. Karen, I walk through here every day. I know the rules. The customer took the food from me and thanked me, then turned back to the woman. Customer, you need to leave my driveway now, or I'm calling the police for trespassing. Karen, he's the one trespassing. Customer, no, he's not. He's making a delivery I requested. You're harassing a teenager trying to do his job. I got back on my bike, and the woman immediately jumped in front of it again. Karen, you're not leaving until you delete that video. Me, I'm leaving now. Please move. Her voice cracked on the word delete. It was such a weird, high-pitched scream that it didn't even sound real. The customer pulled out his phone. Customer, I'm calling the police right now if you don't move. Karen, fine, call them. They'll arrest him for illegal filming and sidewalk violations. Customer, you're literally standing in the middle of my driveway, preventing someone from leaving. That's illegal detainment. That seemed to register with her. She stepped aside, but kept screaming. Karen, this isn't over. I have your face on camera too. I know your employer. You'll be fired for this. I rode past her and out of the driveway. As I left, I could still hear her yelling about calling QuickBite and getting me fired and how today's youth have no respect for rules. I finished my shift and didn't think much more about it. When I got home that evening, I uploaded the video to my social media with a caption, "Just trying to deliver pad thai and ended up in a sidewalk trial." I figured maybe my friends would get a laugh out of it. By the next morning, the video had 30,000 views. By that afternoon, it had 200,000. The part where she screamed, "Delete that," became an instant meme. People were remixing it with music. Someone made it into a ringtone. Another person created an auto-tuned version. Within 3 days, the video hit 2 million views. Major social media accounts were reposting it. News outlets were writing articles about it. The "delete that" scream became a viral soundbite that people were using in other videos. The comments section was wild. Comment 1. She really said, "Delete that," like she's a villain in a movie. Comment 2. Imagine having this much time to harass a kid delivering food. Comment 3. The way her voice cracks on delete is sending me. Comment 4. This kid has more patience than I ever would. My phone was blowing up with messages. Friends from school were tagging me. People I hadn't talked to in years were reaching out. Even my parents saw it because their friends kept sending it to them. QuickBite actually reached out to me. Not to fire me, like the woman had threatened, but to make sure I was okay. They said I'd handled the situation professionally and that if I ever felt unsafe during a delivery, I should contact support immediately. They also said the customer from that delivery had given me a 5-star rating and a $20 tip. The best part came about a week later. Someone who lived in that neighborhood recognized the woman from the video and posted that she didn't actually live there. She lived 2 neighborhoods over and would walk through that area on her way to the park. She'd been harassing people about various violations for months. Dog walkers, joggers, other delivery drivers. The neighborhood association actually had multiple complaints about her. Armed with the video evidence and other complaints, the neighborhood put up "No trespassing" signs and told her she was no longer welcome to cut through their streets. She tried to respond to the viral video by posting her own explanation on social media, claiming she was being cyberbullied and that I'd edited the footage to make her look bad. But people found her account and it just made things worse. Every post she made got flooded with comments of people saying, "Delete that," in all caps. She ended up deleting all her social media accounts within 2 weeks. I'm still doing delivery work. I've had a few people recognize me from the video, which is weird but mostly funny. One customer even requested in the delivery notes, "Please use the driveway. It's legal, I promise." My college fund is looking pretty good now. Not from the viral video, which didn't actually make me any money, but because my tips went up significantly after people recognized me. I guess there's something to be said for internet fame, even if it comes from delivering pad thai and getting yelled at in a driveway.